Welcome back to MMA Sucka Fight fans. My name's Nate Freeman. I'm joined today by Janet Garcia-Borbon, who fights in the 48 kilo division in the World Games 2022 this coming week. Janet, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So I just wanted to make sure because it's your Instagram name, and I've seen it on some of your fight score cards and whatnot, that it is Janet and not Janet, right? Janet is your nickname, correct?
Yeah, so I like to be called Janet. That's fine.
Janet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I put the Y.
Yeah. Where did that come from exactly? Was that just something that
I was
based
trying
off
to
of your
think
name,
of,
or?
yeah, I was trying to think of like how, because I always, when somebody asks me like how do you spell my name, I'm like Jay, and they're like, oh, like Janet Jackson. I'm like, yeah, but my mom calls me Janet, in Spanish because that's how she pronounces it. So that's how she wanted me to be called. So that's why I go by that.
You just want to make it extra clear to fans. That's
yeah.
Yep. Got it. Okay. So then second, I just want to confirm if this is true or not, that you would not be where you are today without Groupon. Is that correct?
Yeah. Groupon made it happen.
That's how you got your start. That's how you found yourself at American Kickboxing Academy.
Yes.
So that's really cool. Shout out to Groupon.
I know, right?
Yeah, not a sponsor, but maybe after this they will be.
Hopefully.
But yeah, that's for those that don't know, go ahead and explain
what happened,
how that exactly came about.
Yeah, so I believe I was turning 21, I believe. And I just wanted to do something for myself. And I was looking on Groupon, and I was like, oh, what can I do? And there was this, I think it was like a 30-day for $20 for trying all the classes at AKA. And I was a little scared because I used to go to 24 Fitness like across the street from AKA. And I always saw the people going in and out of there. I was like, oh, that looks so cool. But it kind of looked kind of intimidating. And kind of like Groupon with that deal kind of made me want to oh, let's just do it. Like, it's only $20. What can I what could happen? And look at me now. Here I am.
Man, how many years later was that? When was that?
That's almost 21. Oh, so that's almost 9 years, 10 years now. Gonna be.
Wow. Yeah. That
that
completely changed the trajectory of your life.
It did.
From what I saw, it made you change your major in college. It made you just completely change your entire profession. So
I know it did.
Incredibly life-changing. That's really interesting. Okay. You spoke about AKA, American Kickboxing Academy. I write for an MMA website, so obviously everybody that is watching this has to know about AKA. But obviously in the name is American Kickboxing Academy, so that is what it was first and foremost. So that's where its roots are. So that just sort of gives it a little bit of extra credit and a little bit of extra I don't know as to why you're training there and not doing MMA. So, but how much crossover do you have with any of the MMA athletes? Are you, have you had conversations with like Khabib, or have you had conversations with some of these folks?
I see them. Not so much Khabib now. He's somewhere else. I don't know where he trains now. I've seen a lot of the MMA guys. I've taken some of the classes there. The thing is, like, the MMA group trains in the morning, right? They train I think at noon or something like that. It's an early morning, and I usually go in late night, right? So my coach has a daytime job, so he can't come in the morning, so we go at night. So that's the thing. Yeah, so there's not a lot of crossover, but I do see them often there.
Got it. I feel like I had to ask that since this is, like I said, an MMA website. So, so then let's go ahead and get into the U.S. trials. You have fought all over the country, won plenty of belts with promotions like Freedom Fighters and things like that. But this is your first time doing any type of national competition and international competition,
Yeah.
correct?
Mhm.
And you went through the tournament, won 30-27 in both of your fights. Give me your reflections on the tournament, and give me, your thoughts on some things that you learned and all of that.
Well, the tournament, I think it was, first of all, it was amazing. Like the experience being there and seeing all this, like, people that I follow on Instagram, right? Because the Muay Thai community is small in the United States, so it's nice. I feel like we keep in contact with a lot of other fighters through Instagram and social media. So seeing everybody there, I was a little like starstruck, being like, oh, there's that guy or there's that girl and everything like that. So it was really awesome seeing them in person and being like in this like little community that we all kind of are a part of. So that was great. Uh, Fighting, it was great. I loved it. How can I explain it? It was like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, I guess. This was the first trials that we had before when the team would compete outside of the United States. Most of them were like picked, right? So this what made it so much special is that to win and represent the United States, you had to fight and you had to win your spot, right? You had to make sure that the best out of the country will represent it. So it's such an honor to be able to be one of the first to do that.
Yeah, and obviously with the fights themselves, how did you feel about facing some of those fighters in those fights, and your reflections on how those fights went? Obviously, like I said, you won 30-27, so you dominated. But was there anything that you took away from those fights that you can take into these World Games? You didn't go to the IFMA tournament. So you don't have the international experience that some
Mhm.
of these fighters have, but you obviously, I'm sure, learned a lot from the U.S. trials.
Yeah, I learned, to be composed under pressure. That was the first time doing 3 minutes. I usually do 2 minute rounds, and that was the first time I was doing 3 minute rounds in the tournament, where you could do like knees to the face, elbow, like different types of elbows were allowed and everything. So I took it was really good to get that feel of what like those 3 minutes feel like versus the 2 minutes that I'm used to, right? Because it's like, oh, it's only a minute, but that minute could feel like a lifetime if you're not prepared correctly, and if you don't know how to really manage your stamina and what you're doing there, you can get really gassed out really quick, right? So I learned how to either control my energy, be aggressive and output, but yet still be aware of like how much time I still have in there. Like you just can't blow it out in the first like round, and then you still have two more rounds and you're gassed, right? So it was really good for me to experience what like fighting 3 minutes feels like. Also, I think that was the first time in a real long time that I had to wear like again the headgear and the elbow pads and the shin guards. So it was a little bit I don't want to say going back to, but it was very different because I'm so used to fighting without everything but elbow pads. So having that headgear and having those shin pads, it did make a difference, right? In the clinch and the kicks and everything. So going it was good to go back to that and feel like, okay, this is what like it's gonna feel like in at the World Games, and I need to work on more of this and that and stuff like that. The competition was tough. I feel like all the girls that were there, they were like the best of America, right? So they were all there hungry and they all wanted the spot, and it was amazing because it having them, it pushes me to be better, right? So it's that competition that I love. That's why I do it, right? For the competition. So having those high caliber like girls that they know, or I know everybody wants that spot, and you just push harder, right? You just keep going harder, and it was great just to meet them all in the ring.
Yeah, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And going into training for the World Games between the trials and this coming week,
Mhm.
um, what have you been working on? I'm sure you've been working on, like you said, your cardio to make sure that you can stay at a consistent pace for 3 minute rounds instead of 2 minute rounds.
Mhm.
But is there anything else that you've been working on to prepare for the World Games this coming week?
I feel like my mental game. I prepare that a lot. I focus on exactly each round, like what when I spar, like what I want to do. Um, I also think about visualization a lot. You know, seeing myself in there, seeing myself in the ring, seeing myself winning, seeing myself getting my hand raised, and all those little things. I visualize that like almost every day, just so I can get prepared for that, so I don't get like shocked there, right? So when I'm in there, because I know it's a big event, so I know there's gonna be a lot of things thrown at me, and most of the things every time like you go into a fight, it's not exactly how you planned it, but you just have to be ready for all those little things that aren't expected. So I worked on a lot of like the mental game for this.
Is that something that you've always done, or is that something you've just ramped up, or is that something that you've entirely started sort of
I've
doing?
always worked on the mental part of fighting because I feel like sometimes it gets overlooked. You train hard your body and everything, but you need to train your mind too. You need to be ready for that. Because like I said, like sometimes things don't go as planned, and then what are you gonna do, right? You have to be ready for the unexpected. And I feel like on this camp I focus a little bit more on my mental game than before. I always do visualization before on all my other fights, but this one was a little bit more like I thought about it more than my other fights for sure.
That makes sense. Okay, looking into the 48 kilo tournament, is there anybody that you have your eyes on that you're hoping to face? Is there anybody that you're looking forward to competing against or anything like
Um, Everybody.
that?
Everybody. No, they're all really good, you know, like they're representing their country and they got that spot for them, right? A lot of the girls that are in my bracket, they have 3 or 4 times more fights than I do. So it doesn't matter who I get. I know they're gonna be tough, right? They're gonna be tough. They're representing their country. They want that gold just as much as I do, but I have to show them that I want it more, right? And it's all gonna show in the ring. But yeah, any of them are gonna be great. They're gonna be great fights. I feel like.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing it too.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in terms of your Team USA teammates, is there anybody in particular that you're keeping your eye on that you want to see fight just as a spectator?
Mm, yeah, I feel like all the girls actually. I like seeing. I'm a girls girl. I love it. Like I want to see the girls succeed, right? Because it's such a male dominated sport. Like just fighting in general. So I really want to see all my girls there, like succeed, and I want to cheer for them and everything. So all the girls, of course, the boys. Yes, I'll be there cheering for them too, but especially the females, I'm rooting for them more.
Okay, and is there anybody in particular internationally that you want to see compete? Like any particular names or anything? Or
Yeah,
is it just the girls
uh,
there too?
Iman Barlow. She's like, I feel like one of the biggest names that's coming to the games. Yeah, so I want to see her in action live. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah, she's really exciting to watch. She
Mhm.
fights in one championship, and yeah, she is
Mhm.
just a
The
great
beast.
fighter with
Yeah,
her.
she started when she was like tiny, right? So she's like a little kid, and just to see her grow up and be successful and still at it and being a female, ugh, I love it.
Yeah, she looking forward to seeing her too. Yeah,
Yes.
that's really exciting. Okay, rapid fire. Let's do just a few quick questions. One, I know your favorite color is pink, but is there any particular reason why it's pink, or is it a particular shade of pink, or is it any? Yeah,
I like all shades of pink. It depends on my mood, I guess. If I'm feeling a little bit more adventurous, it's like a bright pink neon. You know, if I want it a little bit more muted, it's like a light pink. One of the reasons why I like it so much was because of Sailor Moon. When I was growing up, that was one of the reasons why I also did Taekwondo, right? Seeing all the anime and seeing the female kicking butt and still looking pretty. I was like, yes, I want to be like that. You know, you can be girly and still kick butt. So I really like that.
is that still your favorite anime?
I have a couple. Sailor Moon, What's the other one? Dragon Ball. That's another one that I watch a lot. Yu-Gi-Oh. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Ranma One Half. That one's another one that I really liked. Those were my top 4.
Interesting. I've been trying, like all of my friends and a lot of people I know are into anime, and I'm still trying to get into that and try to figure that out. So, yeah, that last one I hadn't heard of, so I'll definitely try to check that one out.
It's an old one, but it's good. It's about martial arts. But yeah.
Nice. Okay. Speaking of sort of films and TV shows and all of that, what is your favorite book or movie?
Ooh, my favorite book. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, I can't. Okay, my favorite book. It's Holes. It's like when I was, I don't know. I have this sentimental meaning to it, So I like reading it again. So I just like it a lot. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites too. Honestly, I really enjoy it. I enjoy the movie as well. It's fun to watch.
It's really good.
Yes.
For movies, it depends. I have different like categories. Like if I want to watch like a romance-ish, it's like 500 Days of Summer. I like it. It's weird. Action, any of the Marvel movies are good. Training Day, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Have you seen the new Thor movie?
Yes, I loved it. It was so good.
I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was funny.
It was good. Okay. Speaking of movies, if they were to make a biopic about you, who would you want to play as you?
Ooh. Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. It's hard because I don't see a lot of Latinas in the movie, so maybe a new up and comer, like a Latina, up and comer that has.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of being a Latina, I'm sure that your mom and your family has a lot of good food. I'm really excited to hear maybe some of your favorite things that your family makes.
Oh, yes. So my mom, it's only a dish that we make it like in the fall. It's called chiles and nogada. And it's kind of like a stuffed bell pepper, not a bell pepper. It's a poblano pepper. It's really big, and you stuff it with fruit, different types of fruit that you kind of caramelize in a way. It's a while to make. That's why we only make it like once a year, and then you stuff it, and then what is that called? I don't know how you say in English. I think you the egg thing you put it on top of it, kind of like, I don't know what you call it. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
And so there's like an egg kind of like shell over it ish, and then you fry it. And then there's like a white sauce on top of it. It's sweet, but it's so delicious. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. I want to look that up. That sounds sounds like it'd be really good.
Yes, and it's sweet and it's delicious, and I just eat it. I just eat as much as I can when she makes it because it's my favorite.
And you said that's only one time a year that she makes it, so that makes it
because it takes like a whole day to make. So she's like, I'm only doing it once a year, and it's like the special occasion that they do it. So yeah.
And yeah, that just sounds incredible. That I want to see that, and maybe one day I'll try to make it or something. Getting back to Muay Thai a little bit, tell me some fighters that you look up to. I know you mentioned Iman Barlow, but is there any other fighters that you look up to?
So when I first started Muay Thai, I was one of the first fighters that I looked up to is Ramon Deckers. One of my favorite fighters. I just love his tenacity and that he just poured his soul on that ring. He was like, he just went after it, and he would punch hard and he would kick hard, and he was just like so aggressive, and people would fear him. So that's why I love him. He's like my number one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's a great one to look up to. Okay, and then maybe your favorite strike to throw.
A right cross. Simple.
Classic.
Power. Yeah.
And then the cleanest shot you've landed. I saw, you've shared it a couple of times, that left hook you landed that knocked somebody down.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's the cleanest shot you think you've landed or if there was another one, but go ahead and share that.
That one was the easiest. I feel like the when you knock somebody out like that, it just feels super easy. You don't put anything on it. It's weird. You would think like the knockout would come with the hardest one that you throw, and most time it's not. It's like the easiest one that they don't see that just like knocks them out. But I like to sweep. I like having like nice clean sweeps when you just drill them to the ground and you just they're in the ground and you're still on top of them. Like, yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I saw that a couple of times, and you you looked really happy at a couple of them, like sort of strutting away and everything. So that was
I,
really cool.
yeah, well, the thing is, like, when I started training again with AKA and my coach Florina, she's my clinch coach, and she would throw me on the ground all the time, all the time. Anytime I would clinch with her, I was like on the ground, got up on the ground. So it was like, damn, I want to be just like her, you know, like I want to do this to other people. So being done that to me, like it made me work harder and it made me want to do that to other people because I know what it feels like, right? I know what it feels like being thrown on the ground and getting up again. You're like, damn it, here we go again, you know? So it just, I love it.
I know that you like to think of your body as a canvas for art, and that you have a lot of tattoos and all of that. Are there any that stick out as not necessarily more important, or maybe some of your favorites? And is there any that you're looking at getting in the near future?
Yeah. One of my favorite, I think it's my sleeve, the one that I have right now. I just finished it maybe last year. I really liked it. The reason why I got this or what I started doing the sleeve was because when I was younger, I was very self-conscious of my arms. I had bigger arms than a lot of the girls, and they were all like, "Oh, look how tiny my arms are," and my hands would never go around my arm, right? So I was very self-conscious of having bigger arms around the girls, you know, and like I didn't want to wear like little like tank tops or anything like that. So having this tattoo, it kind of made me come out of that shell in a way and be love my body again, kind of thing. Because now people didn't see like, oh, you have big arms or whatever. They saw the tattoo and the art and the beauty of it. So now I want to show it every time, right? I like wearing little anything that shows off my tattoos. So it kind of brings out it makes me feel more comfortable with my body. So that's why I love my tattoos and I'll keep adding to them. Yeah.
Is there any particular that you're looking to add?
Yeah. I recently got my shin done and I just want to keep going around it. Maybe like a full leg tattoo. We'll see. But I think I will definitely end up getting a leg tattoo, like a full one.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, before I let you go,
Mhm.
I want to give you the floor. How can people follow you on social media? And give you the floor to do any shout outs for sponsors, coaches, anything like that.
Well, shout out to my coaches who sacrificed so much for me. You know, they're if without them, I wouldn't be in the position that I am right now. My sponsor, Resilient, Fox Sound Fuel. Resilient is such an amazing little company that's been growing over the last couple of years for Muay Thai. If you guys need any like shorts, elbow pads, and everything, please go and check them out. They're such a good company and they help me so much. So by, buying from them, you're also helping me, right? Because they help me. Shout out to my teammates who, without them, again, I couldn't just be where I am. One of my coaches told me, is like, like you need your teammates because you can't become a world champion without just punching the bag by yourself. And that's very true. You need those people in your life. So thank you for everybody that's helping me get here. You can also follow me on Instagram, Yanet, Yahnet. Simple.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to seeing you compete here this coming weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person. I'll be in Birmingham. Obviously, this is my hometown. I'm going to be here covering it. Looking forward to seeing you there. And best of luck as you finish training and as you have a safe trip over here. Yeah, have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank
See you
you.
soon.